Multiplying fractions is even easier than adding and subtracting fractions. We have two steps. Firstly, we can cancel any term on top with anything in the bottom. Then, we simply multiply the numbers on the tops of the fractions, the numerators, and we multiply the numbers on the bottom of the fractions, the denominators. So, for example, let's do 6/7 multiplied by 14/15. Now, previously we've looked at one fraction, like a 6/7, and we've seen, can we cancel it down? Is there any number that goes into the top and also into the bottom? And in this case there's not. There's no number other than one that goes nicely into 6 and also into 7. But this time we have two fractions being multiplied, and we can cancel anything in the top with anything in the bottom. And I noticed that 6 and 15 have something in common. 3 goes into both of them. So just like when we find equivalent fractions and we multiply or divide the top by the same amount, we do the same here, and we call it cancelling down. So I cancel out a factor of 3 from 6, so 3 goes into 6 2 times, and 3 goes into 15 5 times. Doesn't matter that they're not part of the same fraction, as long as one's on the top and one's in the bottom, and we're multiplying the fractions. Likewise, 7 and 14, they also share a factor of 7. So 7 goes into 7 once, and into 14 twice. Now just double check, 2 and 2, do they have anything in common with 1 or 5? No, they don't. So we simply multiply the tops of fractions. 2 times 2 is 4. And on the bottom I've got 1 times 5. 1 times 5 is 5. So 6/7 times 14/15 is 4/5. Sometimes we'll ask to multiply by a whole number, a fraction by a whole number. 5/6 times 18. And what we can do is say, well, write 18 as a fraction. We could write it as 18 over 1. And now again we can do the same sort of cancelling down. Is there anything in the top, 5 and 18, that would cancel with anything in the bottom, 6 or 1? Well, 6 divides into 6 once, and 6 divides into 18 3 times. There's nothing else that cancels, so 5 times 3 is 15, and on the bottom 1 times 1 is 1. And we should be able to recognise that anything divided by 1 is just itself, so 15 over 1 is 15. Finally, if we see the word OF, OF, in a math question, we can quite often, or we can always change it for a multiplication sign. So if I see, say, 3/7 of 14/15, what we can do is where we see that word OF, off, we can change it to a multiplying sign, so that the sum becomes 3/7 multiplied by 14/15. And again, because we know now how to cancel, 3 goes into 3 once and also goes into 15 5 times. And on the other side, 7 goes into 7 once and into 14 2 times. There's nothing else that cancels. So 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 5 is 5. So 3/7 of 14/15 is 2/5.